Hello students, I'm Rebecca Weaver and we are going to look at visualizing fractions today. Students tend to have a lot of trouble with fractions, so let's go over just a little bit about them and see if we can help clarify some things. We're supposed to look at this pie. It's cut into 12 pieces and 2 of the pieces are shaded red. So they want to know what fraction of the figure is shaded. So 2 out of the 12 are shaded. However, that's not reduced. We could reduce this fraction by saying that 2 goes into both 2 and 12 and reducing it to 1 over 6. That would be the reduced fraction. Just reminding you of these things that we've done for a long time, but we tend to forget after we don't use them for a while. Now, what fraction of the figure is not shaded? Well, that would be 10 out of the 12 are not shaded. Once again, this fraction will reduce. 2 goes into both of those. 2 goes into 10 5 times and into 12 6 times. So here's our fractions, the portion of the figure that's shaded and not shaded, and the fractions are reduced. Sometimes the numbers are harder than this, and they're not quite so easy to see that you can reduce them. If you have a TI-84 calculator, you can use that calculator to reduce fractions. So I'm going to tell you how to do it with just this 2 over 12. Now, of course, we don't need it for 2 over 12, but this will reduce fractions that you don't really want to go through the whole process of reducing, and we need to learn how to use our calculator. So your first step would be to enter 2 over 12 into your calculator. Press the enter key, have it figure out what this is. Then we're going to have it change it to a reduced fraction. So you would hit the math key on your calculator. Next, you have a lot of options. So select option 1 because it's sitting right where you need it by pressing enter. This is the go to fraction button. It's written as a little arrow and then a fraction, meaning go to fraction. Your main screen will then read answer go to fraction, which means to take your previous answer, which we just computed, and then convert it to a reduced fraction if that's possible. And then you will see that your calculator is displaying 1 over 6. Great for working with fractions. Now we're going to look at these inequalities and we're going to try to figure out how to make this statement true. Now the bigger numbers are to the right. So anytime I'm looking at inequality symbols, this first choose less than, that means the smaller number would be on your left side of that, and then the bigger number would be on the right. And then for the greater than symbol, you would put the greater value on the left and the lesser on the right, or equal to if they're both equal, to make a true statement. On this number line, the bigger numbers are on this right-hand side. So we would look at these. Let's look at this, and I'll just write that if it's on this end, it's bigger, and it gets the big mouth side. When I look at 7 over 15 and 3 over 15, I can't tell you which one's bigger because they don't have a common denominator. I'll need that common denominator. And what I'll choose is to multiply. I look at 15 and 5 and I go, ooh, 15 works. So I'm going to multiply top and bottom here, by 3. And I will get 9 over 15. Now I can see which one is bigger. I have 9 pieces out of 15 on the right, and I have 7 pieces out of 15 on the left. So I would definitely say that the right-hand side was bigger. So the big mouth would go to the bigger number. So this would be 7/15 is less than 9/15. My next one is to look at it with negative numbers. Now the strange thing about negative numbers is notice that the bigger numbers are still on the right, but as the value gets bigger, the number actually gets smaller. So everything happens backwards in this backwards world of negatives, or opposite in the opposite world of negatives. So if I have negatives, remember that the one with the larger value will actually be smaller. So let's change this to make it so that I have common denominator again. Doesn't change, still use the 15. But in this case, the negative 7 out of 15 is going to be bigger because in my negative world, the 9s and the 7s, the 9s are to the left. So 9 pieces out of 15 versus 7 pieces out of 15. And you could think of this as owing, and that's why it is, the bigger number is less than. So in this next one, I'm not even going to do anything because I've got a positive number and a negative number. The positive number is always bigger than the negative number. So I'm done. I don't even care about getting a common denominator for that one. All right. If you need any help with this, you be sure and email me. And y'all have a wonderful day.